As I have reported many times in this space, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change concluded more than 5 years ago that Earth was amid the most abrupt event in planetary history. As I have also reported many times in this space, the IPCC concluded more than 5 years ago that climate change is irreversible. As corporate media outlets rarely admit, Earth is amid abrupt, irreversible climate change. Anyone paying the slightest bit of attention has known this for more than 5 years. The Guardian attempted to catch up on October 21, 2024 with an article titled, "Humanity is on the verge of shattering Earth's natural limits, say experts in biodiversity warning." Here's the subhead. Quote, "As the COP16 conference begins, scientists and academics say human activity has pushed the world into a danger zone." End quote. The first paragraph includes 2 quotes within the paragraph that indicate the severity of the situation. Quote, "Humanity is on the precipice of shattering Earth's limits and will suffer huge costs if we fail to act on biodiversity loss," experts warn. This week, world leaders meet in Cali, Colombia for the COP16 Biodiversity Conference to discuss action on the global crisis. As they prepare for negotiations, scientists and experts around the world have warned that the stakes are high and there is no time to waste. The next paragraph quotes a professor of applied ecology at Britain's University of Reading. Quote, "We are already locked in for significant damage and we're heading in a direction that we'll see more. I really worry that negative changes could be very rapid." End quote. Really? Negative changes could be very rapid? As I have reported previously in this space, the Design to Fail IPCC concluded in its October 8, 2018 report, Global Warming of 1.5 degrees, that, quote, "global level rates of human-driven change far exceed the rates of change driven by geophysical or biosphere forces that have altered the Earth system trajectory in the past. Even abrupt geophysical events do not approach current rates of human-driven change," end quote. So yes, I'd say, quote, "negative changes could be very rapid," end quote. I'd go a small step further and say that ongoing changes are already very rapid. Less than a year after releasing Global Warming of 1.5 degrees, on September 24, 2019, the IPCC Special Report on the Ocean and Cryosphere in a Changing Climate indicated that an overheated ocean makes climate change irreversible. Earth is experiencing climate change that is abrupt and irreversible. I know I've said this before. I wrote a relevant line more than a decade ago in my 2013 book, Going Dark. Quote, "As pointed out by French author and Nobelist in literature André Gide, everything that needs to be said has already been said, but since no one was listening, everything must be said again. So here I go, saying it again," end quote. I'm saying it again because essentially nobody else is saying it. That Earth is amid abrupt, irreversible climate change that is destroying habitat for all life on Earth seems important, at least to me. That our collective actions are on the verge of turning the only planet known with certainty to currently support life into a lifeless rock seems worth mentioning. In return, I'm called an extremist, a doomer, and far worse. The article in The Guardian continues with some stark statistics. Quote, "Since 1970, some studies estimate wildlife populations have declined on average by 73%, with huge numbers lost in the decades and centuries before. Passenger pigeons, the Carolina parakeets, and Floriana giant tortoises are among the many species humans have obliterated." In response, the professor of applied ecology at Britain's University of Reading says, quote, "It's shameful that our single species is driving the extinction of thousands of others," end quote. It certainly is shameful, although there is no reason to express surprise that collective human actions are driving the ongoing mass extinction event. We have known this for many years. The article quotes the professor again as he correctly points out the interconnected nature of the living planet. Specifically, the article points out that we, quote, "rely on the natural world for food, clean water, and air to breathe," end quote. The professor says, quote, "I think we will certainly, in the next 15 to 20 years, see continued food crises and the real risk of multiple breadbasket failures. That's in addition to a lot of other risks that might impact us through freshwater pollution, ocean acidification, wildfire, and algal blooms, and so on." End quote. These events are ongoing, as the professor indicates when he refers to, quote, "continued food crises." End quote. Imagine my surprise when, in the same sentence, he refers to these phenomena occurring, quote, "in the next 15 to 20 years." End quote. Never mind all the chit-chat about food, water, and air to breathe. The important issue is explained in the 5th paragraph of the article in The Guardian. Quote, "Nature degradation could cause a 12% loss to UK GDP." End quote. The article then indicates we are in an era of mass extinction with, according to the professor, quote, "huge uncertainty in where the safe limits are." End quote. Here's a hint for the Guardian and the professor. The safe limits are behind us. We have triggered a mass extinction event that will almost certainly destroy all life on Earth. The article admits, quote, "human activity has pushed the world into a danger zone in 7 out of 8 indicators of planetary safety. Under a business-as-usual scenario, biodiversity loss will accelerate, with more species surviving only in zoos." End quote. Oh my. Where to begin? Collective, quote, "human activity has pushed the world into a danger zone in 7 out of 8 indicators of planetary safety." End quote. To put it simply, our actions have caused Earth to be unsafe for the continuation of life. The response from the Guardian is epic. We will have, quote, "more species surviving only in zoos." End quote. Zoos typically do not contain habitat. Rather, they typically provide educational opportunities to indicate how dire the situation has become for many species. Considering we are amid a mass extinction event, there will be plenty of such educational opportunities in the few remaining years with habitat for Homo sapiens. The article in The Guardian continues with the usual, well-known information. Environmental degradation drives inequality, conflict, and injustice. Dangerous tipping points lie in the future. Humans are losing their connections to the living planet. The situation is urgent. There is, quote, "no time to waste," end quote. Biological diversity is important, even to humans, and so on. That's all true, of course. However, I doubt repeating it ad nauseum will have significant impact. Perhaps I will be pleasantly surprised.